At Weight Watchers, what I learned was that I can't trust myself, that I need to go on a diet, that I need to count calories, that I need to watch my weight, that I need to listen to experts, to others, or else if I trust myself, I'll just eat everything in sight, I'll blow up, I'll get fat, I'll be ugly, and be unlovable. That's what I believed. And actually,
You believed that you could not trust yourself.
Right. And Weight Watchers really emphasized that for me, that I needed to follow this diet plan. Otherwise, I would get fat. And so it planted that belief in me, and that stayed with me for nearly 20 years, that belief that I can't trust myself. And it wasn't until I healed my eating disorder at like 30, I guess I was about 31.
Right.
That I pulled my power back and said, no, I actually know what I need, and I won't overeat. When I'm listening to my body knows what it needs.
We are rolling. Welcome, everyone, to the Hol-Truth Podcast with Jon Levine. We are here with Lisa Rachel Snyder. She is a New York-based Jiva Mukti yoga teacher, Mind Fresh meditation teacher, writer, and the creator of Beautiful Badass, a 7-step method to a healthy relationship with food, your body, and yourself. Her mindfulness practices have profoundly transformed her health, both mentally and physically. Thus, she teaches us to share what she loves. And without further ado, what's up, Lisa Rachel Snyder?
What's up, Jon Levine?
Everything's great. I just picked you up at the train station. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too.
We're continuing our conversation from about a week ago at WeForm,
Right.
where we talked for about 10 to 15 minutes. And now here we are for a full hour. I got you in the studio.
Yes.
You ready to have some fun?
Let's have fun.
Educate, empower, entertain?
Yeah.
All right. So first thing I want to ask you is, what's your story? What got you into teaching yoga and into mindfulness? What's the background here?
So the background is, not to go into too much detail with my work history, but I was working an office job that I hated. And then unexpectedly, there was a tragedy in my family. My brother committed suicide. And at the time, I was so broken. I knew that I couldn't survive without diving into my mindfulness practices. So I quit my job. I went to Southeast Asia. I felt everything. I cried it all out. I screamed. I danced. I laughed. I did everything, and just immersed myself into yoga and mindfulness. And when I got back here, I became a yogi. I did a yoga teacher training and realized that this was where I could heal. I could continue to heal. And the interesting thing about that experience was that in healing from losing my brother, it was the first time in my life that I felt like I was a privileged youth. Like, it was the first time in my life that something that I knew the rest of society would see as bad happened to me. And in that, it gave me permission not just to grieve and heal from the loss of my brother, but to grieve everything else from my past that I hadn't allowed myself to feel because I didn't think that I deserved to. I didn't think that there was a reason to. But we all have struggles. We all have these experiences, these traumas that need to be grieved, that need to be felt in order to be free of them.
Yeah, you have to. You can't just put it in your subconscious and forget about it. It's still there, right? You have to deal with it and acknowledge it and then move on.
Yeah, so in other words, like, even if nothing like that has happened in your life, like a suicide or a death or a trauma, we all have traumas that we haven't necessarily given ourselves permission to work through because maybe we feel like my brother is a great example of that. I mean, he used to say that he had enough money and he had great schooling and he had all of these opportunities to him. So like the fact that he was sad meant that there must be something wrong with him. And so he didn't really believe that he deserved to be sad. And so he took it as something wrong with me, and that just spiraled down and ended in, what he did.
Right.
So it's just an example of we all have struggles, and we all deserve to experience those struggles.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you.
I did read that because I have to do my homework on you, but so sorry, but I'm glad that you were able to go. And where'd you go? Southeast Asia?
I went to Southeast Asia, yeah.
How long did you go for?
About 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I came back and immediately dove into yoga teacher training, and that was really when I healed my eating disorder. At the same time, again, I was in so much pain that I literally couldn't survive without being kind to myself. So for the first time in my life, I was kind to myself with food, and it shifted everything.
Good. So we just got your story, but we're also going to talk about your 7-step method and Jiva Mukti. I always have a hard time. I said it right.
Jiva Mukti.
Jiva Mukti.
Yes.
Jiva Mukti. All right. I can't pronounce things correctly. Hey, I give myself permission, okay, to pronounce things wrong, okay? I might go to South. I might go to. I deserve to pronounce things wrong. There's nothing wrong with me.
No.
I just pronounce it wrong, and I'm giving myself permission to be wrong, okay? So don't judge me for mispronouncing my Jiva Mukti. But first, we're gonna have a little fun.
Okay.
We're gonna have a little fun. We're going to promote you. I met you. I like you. I always have people on the show that I'm in balance with, that I believe in. So I have no problem doing that. But first, question number 1 for you. Which of the following is not one of the Jiva Mukti poses? Which one of the following is not one of the Jiva Mukti poses? Is it A, downward facing dog? Is it B, standing forward bend? Is it C, teepee twist? Or is it D, Nasnifma Tushy hot fudge 2-step?
It's Nasnifma Tushy. Can you repeat that one?
Okay. Which of the following is not one of the Jiva Mukti poses? Is it the downward facing dog, standing forward bend, teepee twist, or the Snifmatuchas hot fudge 2-step?
The Snifmatuchas hot fudge 2-step.
That's not one of the poses.
No, but I want to know how to do that. Will you demonstrate?
I'm not sniffing anyone's tuchus. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that was not one of the poses.
Yeah.
So you know what you're doing. Okay, so that's not one of the poses. All right, so the other ones are downward facing dog, standing forward bend, teepee twist. Gotcha. All right, that's question 1. We got more for you.
Oh, no.
We're going to, yeah. No sniff matuchas. First it was sniff matushi, none of that. If it was dogs in yoga, they would be happy doing the sniff matuchas.
Oh, they sniff matuchas all day long.
Yeah, they're pros at that. All right, which of the following is not included in Rachel Snyder's 7-step method? Lisa will teach you to listen to your body. Lisa will teach you to trust in yourself. Lisa will teach you to find freedom in food. Lisa will thoroughly beat your ass for forgetting her middle name, Rachel, while forcing you to eat a plant-based diet. Which one's the answer?
I definitely do not force feed anyone.
I'm thinking the answer is D. I'm thinking part of your 7-step method is that you will thoroughly beat someone's ass for not saying Lisa Rachel Snyder, and you will force them to eat plant foods.
I'm an ass kicker. What can I say?
You're a beautiful badass. Am I wrong? I'm wrong about that?
Plant-based foods is not part of my method,
Okay.
but it is my own personal choice.
Right. But you won't get violent.
Nah.
Okay.
That's kind of anti the no harm thing, you know?
I agree with you. I'm just making sure. I'm just vetting this process.
Even though it's tempting sometimes, you know?
Okay. Now we got a couple more. This is a true or false. Lisa Rachel Snyder has traveled worldwide to study yoga and meditation with master teachers, including Muji Baba. Is that true or is that false?
That is true.
That is true. How'd you know that? How'd you know that? You must be Lisa Rachel Snyder. Okay.
I just know a lot about her.
So what did you get? Is that 3? Did you get one wrong? I think you got them all right. All right, here's the last one. True or false? Lisa Rachel Snyder is willing to devote almost all of her time and energy to promoting the Hol-Truth Podcast with Jon Levine.
Absolutely true.
You got it right again. Done. 4 out of 4. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
All right. So then, let's get into the 7-step method. What is your 7-step method? Can we break it down?
Yeah, so my 7 steps are based on the chakras. I don't know if you're familiar with the chakras.
I got my chart right here. I got
did your research.
I got my research. I've had some chakra people in before. Yes. My crown, my third eye, the root. But you tell me.
Yeah, so it's a 7-step method to heal your relationship with food, but in healing your relationship with food, you're actually healing your relationship with yourself by balancing the chakras. So the first step is the first chakra, which is the Muladhara chakra or the root chakra. And that is about grounding, getting into your body.
Is the root is that your tailbone?
It's at the base of your tailbone, yeah.
So some are in the middle of your body, and some are like I think the crown is on the top,
right?
And the root is the tailbone.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are in the middle of your body.
Yeah, they
is that
sort
correct?
of all follow along the spine.
Okay. And are these like energy vortexes?
They're energy centers.
They're
of
energy
the body.
centers in the body.
We actually have many more chakras than just the 7, but these are the 7 major chakras.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Everything's energy, isn't it?
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's amazing how like energy connects things. Yeah, I find it fascinating. All right, so I cut you off. So
the first step is grounding, getting into your body. So in other words, most of us spend most of our time in our minds thinking about the past or the future, daydreaming, fantasizing, worrying, but the body is always in the present moment. So in order to heal your relationship with food, you actually have to come into your body so that you can listen to your body. Because if you're in your head, you're not listening to your body. And it's amazing how many of us are not in our bodies. And
so how do you do that?
So there are a lot of different techniques.
Without giving away all your secrets. Because
This is something I will willingly give away because it's so important to our holistic well-being. There are a lot of techniques. Mindfulness-based techniques are really, really good. But exercise, especially when you're bringing your awareness into your body, because like I said, the body is always in the present moment. So when you bring your attention to the body, you're coming into the present moment, and it's a mindfulness practice because of that. So any like yoga, Tai Chi, any sort of physical activity, especially when you're focusing on being in the body, is grounding. You can also do visualizations to get grounded. You can visualize like a cord connecting your tailbone to the center of the earth, keeping you tethered here. You can notice the weight of gravity.
Back up. So what was that? That was interesting. The tailbone connected. What was that?
It's a cord. You visualize in your mind's eye a cord from the root of your tailbone to the center of the earth, keeping you here, keeping you safe, keeping you tethered to the earth. Simply noticing the weight of gravity
Wow.
Simply noticing that you're here on Earth right now is grounding. It's a lot simpler than we realize.
Yeah.
And then also, spending time in nature is grounding. Walking on the earth barefoot is incredibly grounding.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, living in the city, sometimes it's like I get disconnected and I just like need to touch a tree sometimes.
You take your hands.
I literally touch a tree sometimes because I'm like, I just need something to like
Can you hug
tether
one?
me
Can
here.
you hug a tree too?
I do sometimes.
Give the trees love.
I just don't like to be that stereotypical yogi hippie that hugs trees, but I do on occasion.
Who cares what people think? Do you want to hug the tree?
Yeah.
Then hug it.
Yeah, well, I like I said,
Just don't get the sap all over yourself. I hug trees. I'm barefoot all the time.
It's actually incredible, like if you really do it,
Oh, you
to
feel
notice
so much
how
better.
good it feels. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, you could joke about it all you want, but I'm telling you, anyone who's listening, take your shoes off, your socks off, and then literally put your feet on the ground. Oh,
Yeah.
Sand, dirt, mud, grass.
Yeah.
Instantly, I feel better.
All of that. Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of these things are grounding. Gardening is grounding. Eating is actually grounding.
But is it grounding if you're not actually... So, like, if I have my shoes on and I have the rubber soles and I'm not actually connected to the earth, does that count as grounding?
Yeah, you can be grounded with your shoes on as long as you're... It's an experience. It's like a feeling, kind of. It's when you feel, all of a sudden you feel safe. It's like, I can relax now. You've been spinning.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm just right here. Like, I'm right here, right now, and everything is actually okay. Even if there's, like, chaos happening around me, I'm still here.
Get, like, a little quiet. Like, I'll go out, we have a little garden. I'll go out in the garden and, like, listen to nothing and just, like, pick some vegetables.
Yeah.
And listen to nothing. And it's like heaven.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just like everything, just like all that noise is just gone.
Yeah.
And my mind can just settle the hell down.
Exactly.
Which is so hard to do these days. But
Yeah.
I hear you. All right, so that's the root chakra.
Yes. Step 2, so once you're in your body, then step 2 I call nourishment, and it's based on the second chakra. This is about nourishment on a physical level as well as an emotional level, because eating is actually incredibly joyful and pleasurable. So once you're in your body, then you can listen to your body and you can choose the foods that your body actually craves, because it's only when you choose the foods that your body really craves that you'll feel satisfied. So step 2 is about giving yourself nourishment.
Did you bring any Twinkies for me today?
Oh, I forgot the Twinkies. They're actually not vegan, are they? Twinkies?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I don't think they're much of anything other than foam with like some sort of gook in the middle.
Yeah, gook.
I think
That's
pretty much what that is.
The term for it.
I don't think there's much of anything. They last like 10,000 years.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
There's like yeah. If
anything that doesn't decompose,
yeah,
I don't trust.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to die. Yeah. Anyway, so the sacral, and where's that located?
It's located actually where our sexual organs are. So the second chakra is, it's about creativity and sexuality, because actually the reason why it's about creativity is because giving birth is the most creative act.
Right.
So it's about relationships, whether that's intimate partnerships or even like business partnerships, relationships in general.
Right.
Located at that second chakra. But yeah, it's where the sexual organs are.
So if Ming and I have a relationship, am I going to feel like tingling in my sacral area?
You may. It's very possible.
I know that's not a good thing. I love the guy, but I don't know if I want to. We'll go in a different direction. All right, so moving on up. We're going from the bottom to the top, right?
Yes.
We got root, which is the bottom of the tailbone. We got sacral. sexual organ area. Now we got
solar plexus. So the third step is empowerment. The solar plexus is located at the stomach, at the solar plexus, in the center of the body. This is our power center. It's also the ego center. It's also the center of our personality. In my method, this is about taking your power back from all of these external sources that we believe have know what we need more than we know. And I'll use this as an example. I went to my first Weight Watchers meeting when I was about 12 years old. This was like the beginning of my eating disorder. And
so that's interesting. Okay. I like to joke around, but because I like a little bit of, some of this stuff can get real serious, and I want to make sure that it lightens up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I want people to enjoy listening to it, because we can't just be talking about doom and gloom all the time, where it's going to be depressing. People are like, I can't listen to this guy. That's terrible. I'm crying all the time. But I'm sincere when I love learning. Like, I love doing this because I love learning. So 12 years old.
Yeah.
And you're at Weight Watchers?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't want to play the blame game on anyone. But I was about to go through a growth spurt, and I was a little chubby, and I felt like I needed Weight Watchers because of my surroundings. I just believed that I needed that. So at Weight Watchers, what I learned was that I can't trust myself, that I need to go on a diet, that I need to count calories, that I need to watch my weight, that I need to listen to experts, to others. Or else, if I trust myself, I'll just eat everything in sight. I'll blow up, I'll get fat, I'll be ugly, and be unlovable. That's what I believed. And actually,
you believed that you could not trust yourself.
Right. And Weight Watchers really emphasized that for me, that I needed to follow this diet plan. Otherwise, I would get fat. And so it planted that belief in me. And that stayed with me for nearly 20 years, that belief that I can't trust myself. And it wasn't until I healed my eating disorder at like 30, I guess I was about 31.
Right.
That I pulled my power back and said, no, I actually know what I need. And I won't overeat when I'm listening to my body. My body knows what it needs. My body I won't overdo it on sweets because that actually doesn't feel good for my body. I might have some, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'll never overdo it because my body doesn't actually want that. My body wants vegetables. My body wants whole grains. My body wants healthy fats.
Right.
And so coming into your power is about coming into your own wisdom and knowing and trusting that you have the answers inside.
So is it that if you get your mind right, if you get your mind strong, you will now enable yourself to trust what you're able to do for your body? Is the idea that, like, your relationships and your mind being strong, it'll guide you to eat the right foods and not, if you have a chaotic mind and you're just not mindful, you're kind of not present, you're not thinking, and then you're just all over the place, you're running, and then you're grabbing a cookie or grabbing this and grabbing that, and you're not even thinking about what you're doing. Am I right when I'm saying that?
Sort of. I think the mind is a tricky word. So it's more about trusting. It's less about the mind and just like coming into trusting your body.
Okay.
And your mind will learn how to trust your body.
Yeah, a little bit of this is a little difficult to understand.
It's totally difficult to understand because that's actually what we're talking about is beyond the mind.
So go to the beautiful badass Lisa Rachel Snyder and find out how to do this, because she'll help you. Because I'm trying to figure it out myself.
So when I teach this, it's mindfulness based. So I lead a lot of guided meditations so that in learning it, you're actually experiencing it, rather than me just talking at you. And I do a lot of talking as well so that you understand it, but it's so much experiential. It's so much about coming into yourself and your own experience. So in this step 3, empowerment, I'm an external source. When I'm telling you what you're supposed to be doing, what I'm actually saying is, no, if I say something that doesn't ring true for you,
Right.
then it doesn't work for you. Then listen to that. Trust yourself, even before me.
Right.
So
I agree with
it's
that.
really about coming into your own experience and your own trust.
Okay. So let's, you know what? I now you got something into my head. So let's finish the rest of the chakras, and then can you guide me through one of these
Yeah,
things?
I'd
I
love
want
to.
I want to have an experience,
Yeah.
because you could see this on YouTube, you can hear it, but I want to give our listeners a little idea of what you're doing to
Yeah,
change
I love that
things.
idea.
Yeah. But let's finish this. So we have heart is next.
So the next step is love. This is the heart chakra. It's located at the heart center. So it's not located where the actual physical heart is. It's actually in the center of the chest, the energetic center. And this was the biggest turning point for me, was when I began eating as an act of love. Like I said, when I healed my relationship with food, it was right after my brother died, and I was so broken that I literally couldn't survive without being kind to myself. And part of that included being kind to others. I felt I was so broken that I was like, I don't want anyone else to feel unnecessary harm ever,
Right.
if I can help it. And so I decided to become vegan as an act of love for animals and the environment. And the funny thing about that is that I had tried being vegan a few years earlier, but at the time I was trying to do it to lose weight. And
okay.
it didn't work. In fact, I gained weight and I was like malnourished because I wasn't listening to my body. I was trying to do it with no carbs, and it didn't make any sense.
Right.
But this time I actually thought I would gain weight because I had tried it before, and I did. And that's not what happened, because I was listening to my body, and it shifted everything, because in making a choice for others, in doing something out of love for others, it gave me permission to be kind to myself. It's sort of like when you give money to a homeless person and it actually makes you feel good.
I know.
You know? So that's what it was. It was like, oh, and so in step 4 in my program, what I say is that a compassionate diet is vital, whatever that means to you. For me, that means vegan, and is ever expanding. I'm trying to.
But I gotta get back, because now I'm getting annoyed, because you got those people. I have some friends that like to bring over all their crap, and they think they're doing something nice for me. I'm like, oh yeah, here's my crap, and I'm like, I don't need this, and they bring it and leave it in my house, and it makes them feel good, and it makes me anxious because now I have all their crap.
Yeah.
Hey, no. Get all that. Get it out of here. You're not dumping all that crap on me, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. Like,
It's interesting how things work, isn't it?
yeah. You have to make sure that your act of love is actually an act of
Is it
love
really-
towards them,
is
and
that-
not just for your own benefit.
Do they really want to give me those toys for my kids? Or do they want to get rid of their toys and their anxiety because there's toys all over their house? I don't think there's an act of love for Jon Levine right there.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. We're going to all right, so you know what? I got that. All right.
But anyway, so eating in a compassionate way, whatever that means to you. It doesn't need to be vegan or vegetarian. It could be shopping locally, or it could be cutting out plastic. Whatever feels aligned with your truth and your values. That's what's going to work for you.
Well, the beauty for you is you were vegan for a purpose. You chose it because it was just the right thing for you, right? Because it was great. That was a great thing that you said. So you chose vegan to lose weight, but then after the passing of your brother, the moment you had to feel kind, and you felt empathy and sympathy for animals and how they're treated, and I was vegan, so I know. And then that's when you became vegan, and you did it for the right reasons.
Yes.
So doing it for the right reasons now, the second time around, worked for you.
Yeah.
First time around, maybe not necessarily the right reason,
Right.
didn't work.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, what matters is the intention behind it.
Yeah.
So whatever way you're eating, if the intention behind it is love and kindness, then it's going to result in love and kindness towards yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was very authentic.
Right.
Your path to veganism. All right, so now to the next one, throat.
So step 5 is the throat chakra. This is about integrity. In this process, it's like this is actually not about eating disorder recovery. This is really about truly coming into a space of freedom with food. So that you're not even tempted to behave in those old self-destructive ways anymore. And this is real work. This takes some time, and it's not a straight path towards healing. It's a bit of a windy path. So there will often be times where you feel like you messed up, you can't do it. And this is all actually a part of the healing process. So recognizing that that all of these mistakes are not actually mistakes, and they're opportunities to learn, opportunities to unhook a deeper layer of resistance, and honoring yourself by sticking with it.
Yeah, and you have to make a mistake in order to grow.
Exactly.
Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
If you don't make mistakes,
you're not growing.
there's nothing to do.
Right.
There's nothing to learn.
Right.
Everything's perfect.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, all right, third eye.
So step 6 is third eye chakra, and I call this forgiveness because forgiveness comes from understanding, and the third eye is our place of true seeing. It's we don't see truth with our physical eyes. We see truth with our inner eye. And so when you pull back enough and see the whole picture with clarity, you recognize that everything that happens is the result of everything that has happened. So where you are right now is a result of your whole upbringing and everything that's happened in your life, including your parents and the way your parents were raised and the way their parents were raised, and back and back and back. And so where you are right now, you came about honestly, and there's no reason to blame yourself or anyone else, because we're all exactly where we're supposed to be.
There's
right
a
now.
reason for me doing a podcast. There's a reason for you
exactly
teaching the 7 steps,
and there's a reason why I had to go through that awful experience of my eating disorder and losing my brother and all of that so that I'm here right now. So, yeah, that's step 6.
I never really believed that, but the last couple of years, I got to tell you, I don't know why, but things happened, and I'm like, I don't know that could have happened. Just coincidence. Like, I don't know that could have been a coincidence. Like, certain things are like, that is odd.
Yeah.
Now, who knows? But like, I'm kind of.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know. Yeah. We're mirroring each other right now. So we got last one.
And the last one is step 7, the crown chakra, which is integration, and recognizing that we're not our thoughts. We're not our minds. We're not our bodies, even. Most of us identify with our minds and our bodies.
We're not our thoughts. We're not our bodies. So, all right, so what are we?
That's the question, isn't it?
There's a bunch of bugs in me that like to eat dark leafy greens on a diversity of dark leafy greens that like fiber. We're pretty much bugs. Are we bugs?
Maybe there's some bugs in us, but that's still not what we are or who we are. So through meditation practices, you are able to recognize that you're not your mind, you're not your body, and you can unhook from the identification with those things. So our minds can come up with like so much crazy stuff. You know, our minds will tell us that one day we're fat, one day we're beautiful, one day we're successful, one day we're failures. This is all in the mind.
How do you turn that off?
You can't exactly turn it off, but what you can do is you can catch it and recognize, oh, that's just my mind. That's not me. And just in noticing that,
yeah,
it loses its power completely. And then you have your power back.
You know how you do it? You eat well and you do Jiva Mukti with Lisa Rachel Snyder. That's how you do it, because yoga will get your mind right. Because if you don't exercise, you'll start listening to your thoughts. You like that? You like that transition right into your Jiva Mukti.
Yeah, I mean, yoga is definitely one way to do it, but so is meditation, so is rock climbing, so is hiking, so is whatever it is that you love to do that brings you into the present moment. All of that gets you beyond your mind.
I did a little research and I found something very interesting about you. Uh-oh. I know why you like Jiva Mukti.
Why?
It says that Jiva Mukti attracts animal rights, veganism, and environmentalism.
You know, I was not an animal rights lover, environmentalist before I found Jiva Mukti.
But they attract each other. That's interesting.
Yeah, well,
do you notice that with other practitioners?
Yeah, it's sort of a part of the philosophy.
Yeah.
Of Jiva Mukti yoga. Yeah. Because it's about non-harm. It's like understanding that the way we treat others reflects the way we treat ourselves.
Okay. So, you know what? Let's back up. So you were going to teach me how you deal with the chakras and how you would...
Yeah, well, I want to lead you through a little mindfulness exercise.
Yes, before we get into the Jiva Mukti.
Yeah, so do we have space to stand up for this? Or?
Yeah, and I had too much coffee. I got to pee. Oh, my God. Do you have one of those under-the-table urinals so I don't have to get up and interrupt the podcast?
Oh, no.
Not yet. I'll get Amazon Prime.
Come on, Ming. Jesus. Like if I was urinating right now, no one would know it, and I wouldn't have to get up and interrupt. I really have to go to the bathroom so bad.
Take a break. We can reset the cameras.
No, I don't want to take a break. We're in the flow. When you're in the flow, you don't take a break. So I'm going to have to hold it in, and maybe this is not good for my sacral region, but we'll deal with it. All right, go. Give me the. Let's do it.
Okay, so why don't we do this in our chairs? So sit on the edge of your seat, and you want your sit bones, like you want to be sitting upright, so your spine is long. Yeah, and place your hands face down
Tight
on
core.
your thighs.
Tight core.
No, you can keep it loose, but you just want your spine long, and we'll just get the body moving a little bit. So this is going to look a little basic and silly, but we are just. We're just bringing awareness into the body. So
sure.
Inhale, raise your arms up alongside your ears, palms together, gazing at your thumbs. And then exhale, release your arms alongside your body. We'll do that again. Inhale, reaching up, feeling a lengthening in the sides of the torso.
Am I allowed to talk?
Sure.
This is a huge added benefit to doing a podcast show. Wow. I get in-house yoga.
Inhale, reaching up, and just really bringing awareness into the body as we do this. And exhale, release. And now let's just bring the arms up, cactus arms, and arch back slightly, and then inhale here, stay where you are. Exhale, arch back a little bit more. Inhale, stay, and arch back just slightly more. And then inhale, come up. Release your arms. You can roll your shoulders back a couple of times. Place your palms on your thighs face down. And close your eyes. And we're just going to do a simple breathing exercise to calm the nervous system. So this is called equal part breathing. We're going to be breathing in and out through the nose.
If I fall asleep, will you take over for the podcast?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
And we're going to do a 4 count, but if the 4 count isn't comfortable for you, then just breathe at any pace that is comfortable, but try to breathe the same on the inhale as the exhale. So we'll begin together. Exhale completely. And begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, out, in, out. And just keep going on your own for a few breaths, just counting it off. And you may notice that you start to feel a little more calm, a little more settled.
I don't even know if I can continue talking. I'm so calm.
That's good.
I am very calm. Wow.
So now
That's no joke.
this is a groundedness. This is that grounded experience that I was talking about.
Okay.
So now that we're grounded, now you can notice what's happening in your body. You can ask your body, am I hungry? Am I hungry right now? And just notice what happens in your body when you ask that question, paying attention to your stomach, but also paying attention to other parts of your body, like your heart, for example, because sometimes it may be that your heart is hungry, but your stomach is not. And this is just a way of informing you that maybe you need some emotional nourishment and you don't actually need the physical nourishment.
So the idea is that if you calm your nervous system down, you're more in tune with your body.
Exactly.
So instead of the rat race that we all have and running around, you can't really, you don't have time to slow down and listen. And
Right.
The idea is what we're doing is we're slowing down our nervous system, which will enable us to listen to our body. And
Exactly.
You can actually, your mind is calm, and then you'll feel your stomach, if it's hungry, if it's not hungry, your heart. I gotta say this, I'm being honest. I am very calm right now.
Good.
I am very calm.
And then from here, once you notice if you're hungry or not, if you're not hungry, then it's impossible to know what you want to eat because you actually don't want to eat. So,
Right.
so then you just stop there. You go, okay, I'm not hungry. And you can do this again when you are hungry. If you are hungry, I'm going to lead you through a little exercise to recognize what it is that your body is craving. So from here, just ask yourself, what do I want to eat? And you may get an image, something may pop into your head, and the first image that comes in is usually what you want to eat. If you didn't get an image, which not everyone does, or if you missed it, then you can ask yourself yes and no questions. So for example, you can ask, do I want salad? And notice what happens in your body when you ask that question.
Will there be a physical sensation?
There will be either a closing off sort of feeling or an openness, an expansiveness, a mouth-watering. There are a lot of different ways that the body lets you know.
It's amazing.
But generally, expansiveness, openness, tingles means yes, and a closing, clenching feeling means no. And so you can do this with foods, so salad or, pizza. Do I want pizza? And noticing what happens. You can do any food, but this is something that I teach in my program because it empowers you in so many areas of your life, because you can ask actually any question and your body will answer.
I just want to know, when I go to the gym in the morning and lift weights, can I just stop and do this on the steps and ask myself if I want salads and for like 20 minutes, or will they kick me out of the gym and say this guy's out of his mind?
I don't know. I don't know your gym.
I think they're I don't know.
Yes, do it. Maybe some people will catch on.
Will people give me money? Will people if I have a can, will they just like start dropping quarters and it's like,
Oh no, like
dude,
what's going on with this guy?
Hey, it's okay.
He needs help.
Yeah, just dropping quarters. Now that honestly, that was awesome. So that's just a little bit of what you do.
That's just a little taste of it. Yeah. And that's part of my Mindful Eating for Busy People program, which is like the most basic of my programs. Basically, I lead you through like learning how to eat mindfully, like super basics, without getting into all the psychology, without getting into the full 7-step program. It's really more focused on just the practical steps to eat mindfully.
So a new patient that looks you up on the internet, your website is?
LisaRachelSnyder.com.
Okay. And they want to get a hold of you and start a program. What is the basic program? Like how long does it take?
So this basic program, Mindful Eating for Busy People, is a 20-minute program. That's it. You just...
Do they come to you or do they...
No, it's all online.
All online?
Yeah, and it's recorded videos. So it's a 20-minute program, 3 videos talking about food choices and this mindfulness exercise to listen to your body. And then I have 7 steps to mindful eating, which are different than my 7-step method. So it's just those 3 videos.
And it's something similar to what you just did. So they can kind of follow along.
It's similar to that, yeah.
Yeah, they can follow along, right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's really like the most basic of my programs. It's for anyone who just wants to start eating mindfully. And it's really simple. It's so much more simple than we realize. And like I said, it only takes 20 minutes to learn. If you notice that it's hard to eat mindfully because you have a little bit more of a compulsive quality with food,
yeah,
then the 7-step method the beautiful badass method is more suited for you. But
yeah.
If you just want to learn how to eat mindfully, then you can do that in 20 minutes.
I think it's really important.
Yeah.
Because it's a big problem.
Yeah, it is.
Because, you know, without putting blame on anyone, because it's the world we live in. We all have phones. We all have fast food. We are always on the go. There's more, we used to, when I played sports, I used to ride my bike to the park and play with my friends. And now you're driven all over the place and everyone's running all over the place. So I think you're at the right place at the right time, doing the right things, because it's needed now more than ever. Like now more than 10 years ago, now more than 20 years ago, there was other issues, but.
Right. And people are starting to awaken to the fact that diets don't work now.
No.
Like that quick fix. Yeah, you might lose 10 pounds, but you're going to gain it back if you're not coming from a place of self-love.
In a heartbeat.
So people are starting to recognize that, and they're starting to recognize, like, I don't want to be suffering. I don't want to be thinking about food compulsively. I don't want to be constantly dieting and worrying about the way I look. Like, people actually want to be free of that now.
Diets don't work because we are all different human beings. We're all similar, but we're all different.
Right.
So you can't say this is the diet. You can't say, everyone should be plant-based. It doesn't always work for everyone. Everyone has different reasons.
Right.
You can't say that you should eat meat. And one of the things that, I want to do is I want to empower people on my show with guests like you to figure it out for themselves.
Exactly.
Like, if you're a foodie, like I have some, like Ming's a foodie. I would consider him a foodie. I have a couple friends who are foodies. I mean, they are foodies, man. Like, that's not my thing, but who cares? That's not my thing, but that is their thing.
Yeah.
Like, they roll with it. So, like, if that's what works for you, that's you. Realize that that's you and make it work for you. And that's why the whole diet, you can't tell someone who's a foodie you can only eat plants all day.
Right.
The guy's going to lose his mind.
Although there are plant-based foodies. But
plant-based foods, yeah, okay. But you know what I mean. My point is that you can't push food.
Yes,
you have
agreed,
to,
100%.
And that's what I'm trying to make a change. So I'm trying to get this information out there because it's such great information, and then inspire people to to go out and do it.
Right.
And then we, act like a clown on the show, and hopefully they think it's funny, and then that's part of the deal. So,
Yeah.
that's a wrap. But that was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you for coming in. Let's wrap it up. So we talked about your story, how you got into this. I love it's authentic, it's genuine, it's real. I think it's beautiful. Your 7-step method. We talked about Jiva Mukti
Yeah,
yoga.
you got it.
I got it. I got it. I'm getting thumbs up from all around. And we did some trivia questions. And now I'm going to let you, because nobody knows Lisa Rachel Snyder better than Lisa Rachel Snyder. Nobody knows your business better than your business. So I'm not going to plug you. That didn't sound good. You're going to plug yourself. That didn't sound good either. Plug yourself. Plug yourself right now.
So my next Beautiful Badass method begins on January 1st. It's a 7-step program, and it's really a way to find true freedom with food. So this is not an eating disorder recovery program. It's not a diet. It's actually more accurately about moving beyond recovery so that there's no more temptation to behave in self-destructive ways because you've cultivated so much love for yourself and you trust yourself. And this actually ripples into like all aspects of your life, because once you learn how to do this, you start trusting yourself in every aspect of your life. You start truly growing into your power. And so that's why it's about becoming a beautiful badass. You have to be a badass to look at your demons honestly. And the word beautiful means being fully you. So it's really about coming into yourself and in an empowered way and healing your relationship with food as a result of that.
Beautiful. I love it. Lisa Rachel Snyder, beautiful badass. Once again, we're going to have to do this again. It was a pleasure. It was an honor.
Thank
I
you
love
so
doing this
much.
with you. Let's stay in touch. Let's do another podcast. I love what you're doing. I
Sounds
love your
great.
work.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming on the show. And don't forget, by the way, before we even sign off, your true and false question that you did get right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa Rachel Snyder. Here, I'll let you read it.
All right.
Don't forget about that.
Okay. Lisa Rachel Snyder is willing to devote almost all of her time and energy to promoting the Hol-Truth Podcast with Jon Levine.
There you go. I love it. Now that's a wrap. All right. Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks.
Rachel Snyder. We're out of here.